AC team, currently working with TLSNotary team. So in this workshop, we will learn introduction to TLSNotary, bounties for the hackathon, and the plugins and development system. So this is the kind of workflow we will follow. So just introduction, some theoretical part of TLSNotary, a browser extension demo, and then the code part too. So first of all, what is TLSNotary? TLSNotary is a cryptographic protocol that allows you to transfer or unlock your Web2 data and give a proof or attestation to a third party. So you can literally prove that you have, for example, proof of Steam achievements to another website, for example, Epic Games, that you have achieved this achievement or you own these games. So it works on the TLS protocol, the Transport Layer Security Protocol, TSS, HTTPS. And it works in the following way. First of all, it's not the man-in-the-middle attack. So your connection to the server is still encrypted and private with TLS security. It's not man-in-the-middle. So how it works is you have a website, for example, a bank website or a government website, and you make a TLS connection with that, and you get encrypted connection with that website. So if Alice have to prove to Bob that she has, for example, proof like this much fund in her bank account, she has to get an attestation from a notary service, or she has to ask bank or use an API or OAuth or something like that. But with TLS Notary, she can make a proof and notarize it with the help of TLS, and Bob will believe it because Bob takes part in the whole process. So it's like Bob will have reason to trust Alice because he took part in the key exchange and all the process when the data was generated. So most popular use cases is like, and I hope most of the hackers here are on the right side, like the KYC provider, creditors, data archive, or blockchain oracle. These are one of the use cases that where you can use TLS Notary. So why TLS Notary? It guarantees the data origin, data integrity, and data portability. Like I mentioned, you can transfer data from one website to another and prove it's authentic and has not been tampered with. With simple TLS, you cannot do this because in TLS, you use symmetric encryption between website and you yourself as a prover. So on your end, once you get the data, you can modify it, and Bob can question you that you modified the data. But with TLS Notary, you can't do that because Bob will himself take part in the key exchange and hold the process. That's the notary part. So this is some like what I explained. Like normally, you have the symmetric encryption between website and the you as a user or Alice. And you can't prove it to Bob because Bob will not trust the data because it's the symmetric key. You can change the data on your end. Like basically what you do on your website. For example, you can do inspect element, change the data, and just send that data to Bob. He can't trust that. With MPC TLS, multi-party computation, we use Bob as a verifier, Alice as prover, and you together take part in the key exchange. But for server, it's still the same key. For server, it's just one user. He doesn't know if they are Bob or Alice. For the server, it's just one user. Nothing changes for the server. It's just for prover and the verifier. Since verifier takes part in the key exchange, he can take part in the data encryption and decryption, but he can't actually read the data. And Alice cannot modify any data because as soon as the data comes, it gets encrypted with both of their keys. So there's a mutual trust between them because no one can cheat each other. Alice cannot modify the data because as soon as it comes, it's encrypted. And Bob cannot see the all data because it's encrypted. But it's on Alice if she wants to reveal what kind of information. So Alice has the whole capacity, like what kind of information she wants to reveal. So that's where the ZK parts come in. So in this example, for example, Alice can, instead of giving her address, she can just say, okay, I'm not in US. And that's a valid proof because it's generated from the website. For example, if she wants to prove she's 18 plus, she can just give the ZK proof that proof that she's 18 plus instead of giving date of birth. So that's why it's a lack of better term, it's called ZK TLS2. So it has two parts, the TLS part, the notarization part, and the ZK part. Everything is open source, and the whole toolkit is in Rust and TypeScript. So we'll share the repo and everything that you can hack on. So we want to actually go in the whole live coding with all of you because we have only 20 minutes. But you can ask me questions later on that. So this is probably the most important link for you. It's a hackathon guide for each participant. You can you can follow. I would actually advise you to follow it completely before you actually start working on TLS Notary. So in the hackathon guide, you will have 3 examples, and I strongly recommend to complete all 3 of them so that you have better understanding of the how TLS Notary works and how you can integrate in your project, or if it even makes sense to use it. So prove, redact, verify is basically you prove information from the website, you redact or hide the information, and you verify it to the third person. Same example, but this is with the Notary and the Rust example. Same, if you want to use, if you're familiar with Rust, go with this. And we also have the browser extension. If you're not familiar with Rust, and if you want to do everything on the browser, you can use the browser extension. Same, prove, redact, and verify. Go through all of these 3 examples. The URL is there, and you will have better understanding of it. So I'm mostly work with plugins and browser extension TLS Notary team, so I will go more deep into that. So you can start with the browser extension demo, and there's a demo.tlsnotary.org. You just can go there, and it will guide you how to use the browser plugins. It's like a step-by-step game like that you can play. You can install the browser plugin, and it will guide you how to use the plugins. Again, this URL is also pretty important if you want to hack on plugins ecosystem. So some theory on how the plugin system works is, so TLS Notary plugin is a extension, is a browser extension that takes the cookies and headers and all basically reads your connection with the website, and based on that, it will help you to formulate proofs. And you have to make the plugins or by yourself. So extension is like it will have the request and headers. It will provide you all the tooling that you need to get the data from the website and generate a proof with it. But for each website, you have to write your own plugin. For example, if you are on Twitter and you want to prove that you own the Twitter account, you have to write a Twitter plugin for it. And the plugin system is pretty simple. I will go through that. It's basically follows a similar structure for each website that you can go through it. And it has basically 3 steps. It has 3 steps that you can you have to go for each plugin. The step 1 is to go to a website. Step 2 is to get all the cookies, and step 3 is actually to redact or verify and then generate a proof. Okay, so demo. Can I do live? If I have good internet, I will try to do a live demo. So this is the plugin that I made for the Axis Bank, which proves that I actually own an Axis Bank account. And then I can prove it, give the proof to a third party who might be a loan giving application. So I hope okay. So I'm currently running my own Notary server locally, but PSE also has a Notary server that you can use. It's in the docs. You can use their server too. If your laptop doesn't have enough resources, just use the online one. Oh, my balance. So this is the browser extension, and as you can see, I have 3 plugins here: Axis Bank, Twitter, and the Discord DMs plugin. So I'm on Axis Bank. There are 3 steps: visit the website, get the cookies, and start the notarization process. So it will go through here, as you can see. It got the protocol, started a session, and it signs it, and then you can see successful notarization of request. So what does this proof actually have? The proof mainly has the information that I own the Axis Bank account and what is my name in the bank account. It hides some information like my account number. And so it's still working because internet is super slow, but I have the recorded version too if it fails, just in case. And it can show how much money I have. And if I want to apply for a loan, it can just show the loan, the money I have and how much percentage I can get through it. It hides the address or other crucial information if you want to hide. And it's on the user how much information you want to reveal or redact. So you can do all of this with the plugin system. And I hope some of you make real world application like this where you use actual services that are in India, or banks or KYC servers or anything that is being used every day, that where you can want to export the data to some other side. Where's the presentation? Uh, So I was going to demo the Twitter plugin example, but unfortunately, Twitter changed their API. So the plugin system for Twitter is failing. So even if you are trying in the docs, it might be failing. So don't worry, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just the Twitter changed the API. But there are more examples that you can check here. So just to play around, so to get the idea how plugin system works, there is Discord DM examples, Fitbit example. I already gave the Axis Bank example. I will push the code later. I just made it today in the morning. So it's not that hard to make, to be honest. Okay. So for you, there's also a tool that I wrote. It's called plugin generation tool. So plugin generation, writing a plugin is a tiresome task. You have to go through a lot of requests on websites and to see which requests are relevant and which response are not for the proof generation. So I made this project, TLSN plugin generation. It's a LLM-based tool. All you have to do is chat with this plugin. You have to tell what's the API or which website you are on, and it will gather all the requests and the response, and it will generate a code for you that you can later use to generate the plugin. So for example, we can visit Swappy. And I just have to, so in the official TLSN plugin, you won't have this chat window. This is added by me. It's still in early stages. So you can, wait a second, I have to start a server. Okay. So if you go with this plugin generation mode, you can go to any website. It will capture the current page, the API request, and the responses, and it will help you generate the plugin. So if you are stuck somewhere, maybe use this tool. So it will just ask you what's the API, and if you can, what do you want to notarize from this website. So for example, the website here is swappy.dev, and API is swappy.dev/API/. I want to notarize the response of the API. So it's basically like asking ChatGPT, but on the TLSNotary plugin. The difference is you get all the benefits of TLS extension. So you can, instead of manually copy pasting the request and responses to ChatGPT, you can just do it here. Also, you can't post every response or request to ChatGPT, first because of your privacy. Second, the request can be too big. For example, you request a bootstrap file, which is like 40K lines of code. There's no need for that. So it also filters all of these requests which are not needed. So it will only take the request and response which are needed for notarization. So in this case, it already it takes all of the requests, then it filters which requests are relevant to generate the plugin. So this is only needed if you are stuck with some website or if you need help with plugin generation. So you can use it. It's for disposable for you guys. And if I go here, like basically it filters what is needed, what is not needed, and then it sends the response, and then it will generate the final code that you can use to generate the plugin. Like here. It told me what requests are relevant to generate the plugin code. So it tells me I need a GET request. The URL is this, and it creates a request for me, and I just send that. And then it will generate the code. So code will look something like this. If you are doing plugin development, we have also bounties for plugins based on how useful plugin is. There are rewards for that. So the core is you will have mainly 3 files: index.ts, config, and index.d.ts. So this file config.json tells how the plugin should work. The step 1 is like you visit a website like Discord, Twitter, or your bank, or your government website, or Aadhaar website, any website. Second is collect credentials, like you want cookies or how can you collect credentials. Maybe there's a JWT token. You have to specify that what kind of credentials here are. Then the actual notarization and what kind of request you need to make. So this is just the workflow. And actual code goes here, the index.ts file. So you tell the step one where you have to go. Like for example, in this case, Axis Bank. And then step two was the collecting the cookies or however the authorization is doing. In here, Axis Bank uses session tokens, so I'm just getting cookies, headers, and I'm creating a request what is needed and what is not needed. And then this is the parse part where you redact the information. Suppose you want to hide the your bank account number or maybe your address, so you can hide all of that information in step three. It's up to you what you want to hide, what you want to reveal. And then the notarization part. And this is basically the workflow that goes here. So if you make plugins, you have to go through these three steps. And the code is available on example section of TLSNotary GitHub. Okay, where is it? So use cases. I hope some of you get inspiration from this. Identity is one big use case for TLSNotary. Like if you want to prove your identity to some other website. For example, you have your Steam achievements that you want to prove on, let's say, a statistic website. You can instead of using the Steam API, you can just give the proof that you have all these achievements, and it will be valid. Financial, like I demoed for the Axis Bank, you can do it for your bank, HDFC Bank, SBI, or any other. Or maybe you can write a plugin that can generate for any bank. I'm just giving you ideas. It's up to you. Social, I already said, gaming and other stuff. So it's up to you what you want to make on. Like any Web2 data, you can make a proof on it and submit to another website. Or you can make a service where people can submit the proofs and then you do some kind of work with it. These are the bounties. These are also mentioned on ETHIndia just to gather your attention, like on which part you want to hack on. So there's plugin and the best overall use case for TLSNotary. So up to you guys. And these are important links. So make sure to go through hackathon guide. Docs are very important. And if you want to use the generation, the LLM one that I made, this is the third link, which can help you with the plugin development. Main code is in TLSNotary repo. So all the plugins, the Rust code and the TypeScript and the libraries are there. That's it. Thank you. I hope you make something fun with it.